Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. Your host, Red. You got a video from Financial Coffee Channel. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that. Ciao. Ciao time.
Y'all, I am regretting buying a house.
How are y'all paying all these homeowner bills and fixing all this? Are you all strippers? Are you all winning the lottery every?
Again, my friend bought a house in San Diego, 1.2. He pays over $8,000 in his mortgage, and he's still renovating the house. He spent already $40,000 on the house. But my friend is really well off. He works for Google. His partner works for Google. His partner works for another major tech company. So they bring in good money, but it's not easy. It takes both of them to be able to do that.
Single month, because how the guys, I don't think I can thug this one out. If anybody wants to know how horrible homeownership is or can understand the pain behind it sometimes, okay, where do I?
This is very similar to why women didn't own property back in the day and didn't own land, because you can't really protect it and you can't really maintain it yourself. That's the problem.
I start.
I love being a homeowner until it's time to do, I'll call it the manly stuff, like the snow, the lawn, go take out the trash. Like, as a single female, I feel like I should have been a little bit smarter and maybe got a condo or something where all this is included in the HOA, or I don't have to take the trash can out that far. Yes, I know that I can just go call someone and have them do it, but I don't want to go in my pocket and have to pay for it. I don't know, maybe I need a condo or
me and my buddies were talking about it, like women that don't need no man. Sure, you don't need no man and you don't need a husband. You're still going to be paying a man to do all these things. And when you're paying a random stranger, they're going to work you.
You guys, we just got literally played. So this is a story of a terrible home buying experience. Because, oh my God, what we found. I'm ready.
And this is the problem with home ownership. Most people just can't afford it nowadays. As much as we want to push people towards owning homes, it's a good thing. It's building up assets, having equity in something. It's wonderful, but some people have to stretch themselves out so thin to afford some of these houses. Any little bump is going to screw them over.
To fight him. Disgusting. Disgusting. And guys, this house had black mold in it. All over it. Under the entire foundation. Our real estate agent basically said that the home is probably not livable and should probably be torn down. And if you don't know what black mold is, black mold can kill you. It can literally kill you.
I'm only 25, fresh 25, recently turned 2 weeks ago. And even I knew this economy was in the gutter. And I've seen maybe 20 TikToks about people either in foreclosure or about to go into foreclosure. And this is why I always say it's so important to live below your means, because in reality, especially if you're middle class, we're all about a layoff away from going into foreclosure or being evicted from our homes. Truly. Especially in this economy. It's taking people damn near about a year to find a new job. And even then when they do, it's not paying what they were getting paid before.
And
isn't wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna be house poor. I don't know how I'm gonna afford food. I don't know how I'm gonna afford gas. I don't know what I'm doing. Who let me do this?
You women wanted to do this. Strong and independent, didn't need no man. And wanted to say, oh, there's more women that own homes than men. Well, yeah, men are a little bit smarter with our money, and we're just gonna rent with buddies.
I'm in the process of buying my very first house as a 28-year-old with no kids. I'm not married. I close in 7 days, and I feel like I should be super excited right now and happy, but in reality, I am terrified. And I am so nervous, and I want to back out, but it is literally way too late in the process for me to back out. And I've missed my last chance to do that, and so now I am just sitting here and regretting my decision.
What does she mean by who let her do it? These women don't make any kind of sense. Right? She acts as if somebody...
What, were we supposed to control you and not let you do things like we used to do before the 50s when we didn't give you guys credit cards and bank accounts according to you?
Force her to buy the house. Guys, they always claim to be strong and independent. But as soon as life gets difficult, they are not strong and independent anymore. They become the damsel in distress that needs to be saved. And they always shift the blame on somebody else when they get in trouble.
And this slimy, terrible development company, they got us. As we were doing inspections, we got all our disclosures back, and the inspections on face value were fine. There was nothing super alarming until we got the disclosures back. And maybe it's the Midwesterner in me that just cannot believe that somebody would knowingly put a home that has black mold on it on the market. It's...
Girl, most people try to get rid of their junk, trying to say it's not junk. Houses are not excluded from that.
It's baffling to me. But unfortunately, that's the world that we live in. And if you don't know what black mold is, black mold can kill you. It can literally kill you. And then our real estate agent did some more digging. The development company that is listing this home has been sued multiple times all across San Diego. They've also changed their name 3 times, so you could no longer find the previous name that they were previously sued under. Like, legally, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this development company's name, but if you're in San Diego, literally beware. I will also tell you the listing agent because I cannot believe what an absolute dirtbag this guy is. Like, I'm ready to fight him. Disgusting. Disgusting. Honestly, I'm like happy to go talk to him in person. Like, shame on you, sir. Shame on you for being the dirtbag of the century.
Again, they're going to be paying men to do things, and men are going to work them.
For intentionally listing a home that could kill someone. So if you're in San Diego, please beware of slimy, skis-ball development companies trying to pull a fast one over you. You've been warned.
Yep, a lot of people are house poor, and a lot of them are not discussing it, and maybe they're not discussing it because the alternative is to be rent poor. And they would prefer to be house poor before they become rent poor. I don't have all the answers. I don't think everybody should own. I don't think everybody should rent. But we need to start discussing what exactly is the alternative.
I mean, I could somewhat agree with that, but just because rent in California and owning a home are not that far off from each other, but it requires that huge down payment to be able to make it around the same amount of price to start putting equity into your house.
I love being a homeowner. I had a very good experience buying my home, but that's simply because I did my homework and I also did a lot of research before buying it. But as you know, not everything is perfect. There are 3 things that I hate about this house. And these 3 things are almost always true, no matter what the house you buy. Number 1, property taxes. That shit never ends, even after you pay your mortgage off. And they almost go up every year. Now, if you are lucky enough to not have to pay any property taxes, good for you. Number 2.
Wait. Is there states that don't have property tax? Let me know down below.
Homeowner insurance. That shit always goes up. At least for me, even if you don't file any claim. One day, I called the homeowner's insurance and I reported a burst pipe in front of my house. Now, keep in mind, I didn't file a claim. No claim filed. But guess what, people? When it was time to renew my policy, they used that burst pipe as an excuse to raise my premiums. I swear to God, guys, insurance is a legalized scam. Number 3, I live in a HOA. They are cool for now, but I hate those quarterly assessment fees that I have to pay every 3 months.
Y'all, I am regretting buying a house. Fiance and I have not even lived in it for a year. And we had to buy an AC unit already, which is thousands and thousands of dollars.
16,000 at least?
Obviously necessary and worth it, but very unfortunate. We're also trying to plan a wedding, so that was not ideal for the budget. And then
planning a wedding, getting married, and buying a home. Oh, that's a lot.
And we had gutters And then on top of that, we now probably have to replace our water heater. Just can't catch a break. And before anyone comes at me, we did have an inspection. None of it was flagged. So it's been a rough day. It's been a rough couple months.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I'm 24. I own a home. I know it's a unicorn situation. It's cool. It's great. It's dandy. It's whatever. I have had a leaking water heater for probably a week and a half now. And I know some of you are going to be like, Morgan, that's way too long. I know. But it slowly progressed. It got worse over time. I just put towels up under it and just like gathered it toward the front and was like, oh, if I soak up the water and figure out where the problem is, I'll be fine. It got to the point where it was getting like overflowing into my entire HVAC room. So I was like, maybe I should probably get this checked out. But the plumber comes today and he looks at everything and he goes, for a 4-year-old water heater, because I moved into this house 2 years ago. And the water heater is only 4 years old because I was the first person that moved in here after it was built. He looks at me straight face and he was like, for the 30-something years that I've been in this entire business and I've been a plumber, I have never seen such bad corrosion. Ignore the mess. I've never seen such bad corrosion and rust and filth on a 4-year-old water tank and water heater. Not only that, but he said the gauge, the little pressure gauge that is on it that basically tells it how hot or how cold to make the water is broken. Completely broken. So, which makes sense because every other person that's come in my house that's washed their hands at my kitchen sink is like, oh, 0 to hero. Every single time they wash their hands, like, Morgan, why is your so hot? And I was like, I don't know. I guess that's just how it is. And so I turned the gauge down. That's not helping anymore. So now he was like, I can replace just the drip pipe and I can replace just the tray, but I recommend replacing the whole thing because it's a gas heated, whatever. If there's nowhere for
Yeah, I mean, corrosion on gas things is not good. You're going to have leaks. You're going to have explosions.
the gas and the steam could go, the whole thing could go kaboom.
Exactly.
And I just got the quote for it. I just got the quote for fixing everything. How are y'all paying all these homeowner bills and fixing all this?
They make significant income to cover that. And they already have some. Again, my friend, $1.2 million home. Replaced the water heater, replaced almost everything. They had to like rip up the floorboards, but me and him did it together. Well, a little bit of carpentry handiwork. Obviously, my ass is useless. I'm just helping him hold things in place while he's doing it. But yeah, you got to just be able to do some of these things yourself. Him and his fiance, she's helping. She helps paint. She does all of the non-heavy wood cutting stuff. While me and him are doing all the heavy work. So it just works out that way when you have a man.
Are you all strippers? Are you all winning the lottery every single month? Because how the I can't. Guys, I don't think I can thug this one out.
She gave me too much work to mute the foul language, the curse words, and the F-bombs. I had a headache just listening to her. She was talking way too much and way too fast. She didn't do her due diligence, which is why she had that problem. Just judging by how she reacted to that water heater problem, I can guarantee you that there are many other problems in that house. She is just ignoring them, hoping that they will magically disappear.
Oh, and I must mention that I lost a nice little chunk of change during this process because the financial analysis came at the end of the process. So I'd already paid $270 for the inspection of the property. Okay. I'd already paid about $600 to have the appraisal of the property done. Okay. So I almost lost about $1,000 just because these are things that you're just going to have to pay for throughout the process. Anything can happen. So I was just not willing to lose another $1,000 going through this process again with a condo. The biggest thing for me was that I would have a problem selling my unit when it was time. If I'm having this hard of a time purchasing a condo, I can only imagine how hard it would be to sell it because I can't control other people and their finances. I can only control me.
If you are looking at buying a new construction house and comparing builders and thinking about purchasing through Lennar, I highly suggest you rethink that. And
I also have another friend, my military friend, that does cybersecurity. They just bought a brand new house development area in, I believe, Corona. It's actually a pretty nice house. We haven't seen any issues about it lately. But it is literally brand new construction. It finished maybe a few months before they moved into it.
Don't go with a Lennar home. We are coming up on our 1 year of living in our house and still fighting for things that were supposed to be covered under our warranty to be taken care of. When we moved in, we were made all these huge promises, like our garage was going to be flecked and sealed because of things that they messed up on. Guess what? Never happened. We were also told that ceiling fans were going to get put in our house because they forgot to put the gooseneck covers on the top of our house, and we had that hurricane last September, and it ended up pouring through our master bedroom ceiling and causing major damage. Well, we never got the ceiling fans, and we're now almost a year to that happening, and they just finally came to finish that problem and fix it. Their workers came and took off the things from the ceiling and then just left, never put them back up. We also have clumps of paint and drywall all over our master bedroom carpeting, and they never came back to fix that either. So they'll give you a bunch of promises, and they will never come through with that. They'll just get you to try to shut up. When you do your walkthrough with Lennar, they go around with this blue painter's tape, and they tell you that everywhere they put the tape, they're going to come back and fix. Well, here we are a year later, and we still have tape in all of our windows, on our walls, on our light fixtures, on our outlets, our switches.
I feel like you shouldn't have bought the home if there was that much that needed to be done still.
There's blue tape all over my house. They never came back and did anything with that blue tape.
I mean, I admit it's much harder to fix everything once somebody moved in and have all their furniture and stuff all over the place. Definitely wouldn't have bought it or, waited until after.
So I think that's just to show you that like they care when they're doing their walkthrough, but they're not going to come back and fix any of that either. That's all for show. Why am I hanging out by the thermostat? That's because they've come out 3 different times to fix our air. We have no air coming in our master bedroom. It gets 86 degrees in there. They come out, they clickety-clack it, touch little buttons. We're like, oh, I don't know what's going on. We're going to have to order something and come back out. And then they never do. And then they send my husband emails to DocuSign and close off that we had that taken care of, except we never had it taken care of.
I think the biggest mistake that they made was buying that house despite all the problems it had. They should have required the home builder to fix those problems first and then, only then, buy the house. They were probably in a rush to get into the house. She was also probably putting pressure on the husband to buy the house. Let's be honest here, guys. Most of the time, not all the time, a man usually buys a house because he's under pressure from his wife or from his fiancé. Men are happy with very little. Women, on the other hand, need a lot of things to be happy. And even after they get these things, they are still not happy. They are only happy when they are unhappy. So whatever she's complaining about, she has
when they are unhappy.
to put the blame on herself first before putting it on the home builder.
All right. So the biggest thing that turned me off from purchasing a condo was the aspect that the other owners of condos or townhomes within that building, within that community, their financial status or whatever's going on with them can affect the purchase or sale of your unit. I was going through the process and everything was going well. I literally had a closing date. I was 2 weeks out from my closing date. And the lending company that I was working with for that transaction, they had already done their financial analysis on me. They were like, okay, you're good to go. So then they started to do their financial analysis of the building itself. So one thing to note is that because you are purchasing a attached single, you are sharing things like the roof, you're sharing common spaces, you're sharing walls with other people. So the finances of the other owners within the building that you're purchasing in does matter. So during their financial analysis of the building itself, they learned that there were some of the owners in the building that were delinquent on their HOA fees, which means that the building is now delinquent with the city of Chicago. There was also some sort of judgment on the building for like unpaid construction. I believe they were doing something to the roof and the company that did the work was not fully paid for that work. So now that's showing up in the financials of the building. So ultimately, the lending company was like, we cool with you, but we are not lending you money to purchase this property. You can find another one, but not this one. So if you're interested in purchasing attached singles like townhomes or condos, please talk to your real estate agent and tell them to ask the people up front what the financials in the building are to save you some time. After that first situation with the condo going south, I did look into a few more, and this was a very, very common theme. And some of the seller representatives would say things like, yeah, just want to be upfront and let you know that this is going on or that's going on. So after 2 or 3 more times hearing that, I was like, yeah, I'm done.
Houses and rent are expensive. I rent a house right now with my brother, and then it's a townhouse still. So I have an attached wall with my neighbor. Well, it's only one neighbor though, so it's not that bad. I have the space I need. I have the extra studio room. I have a garage. It does have solar here, so it helps with like, you know, charging my car for free and stuff. But it's still pretty expensive out here. I mean, my electricity bill is still almost $200 a month, even though I have solar. That's just because I run the heat at night, though. So, life, guys. Gotta keep on chucking. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that.